This podcast is just for fun. It's all fake. Don't believe us. Look, do your own research. Man down! Man down! Welcome to the show. Hype, extra hype, extra hype, extra dance break. You don't ever spontaneously just?
No, I do. I just was watching you do it.
Oh, okay. Yay!
Living vicariously through your dance moves.
Hey, that works. Whatever works for you guys. It's a little bit weird, but hey, here we are.
Here we are.
It is the boys back again this week.
The boys.
Let's go. This week's episode, we're going to be talking about I'm betting it'll probably be a two-parter.
Oh.
Because I'm betting we'll probably talk quite a bit about one of them and then be like, oh no, we spent too much time, and then we'll do a second part.
Right.
So I'm cool with that. But either way, talking about some extra ranches kind of in the lore and the theme of Skinwalker Ranch.
I like Hidden Valley.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I beat you to it. I may be tired, half asleep, but I am still faster than you. On the jokes.
Wow.
On the jokes, the puns, the things, the stuff.
You did the things.
You did.
You did the things.
That's good.
I just want to bust into some caffeine right away.
Yes,
let's just
please,
get going right away.
Please. I'm going full bore. I got Bang, Blue Res.
Mike got me a Blue Raz Ghost.
So I just should have got Blue Raz. Is that what we're saying for everybody?
No. We're all a theme.
I got
So
a white.
he's Blue Raz, I'm Blue Raz, but you're Ghost, I'm Ghost. So we're
Okay. I'm White Raz. White Raz today.
Give her the old razzle dazzle. Oh yeah, that's good.
I might actually like the Blue Raz better than the Sour Patch Blue.
Yeah, I do too.
Because the Sour Patch Blue Raz was almost a little too front sour. Mm-hmm. By the end, your body was going, stop.
To be clear, you're drinking Blue Raspberry, not Blue Raz.
Oh.
There's more Z's in mine.
Anyway. I hope the gulp caught on that.
Here, hold on.
Just gulp. Oh, man. All right. Well,
Somebody hates that sound and somebody else really likes it.
Dude, I know. That's the funny thing is that, like, when debating about, like, what we keep in the show and what we don't, you know, there's obvious things that, like, we're going to keep in the show, even though nobody wants to hear them unless they do, is like the advertising section and the current events section. Because I know somebody's like, stop, I don't care about current events. I'm going to stick straight to the story. But also there's other people who are like, I don't really care about the other stuff. I love the current events section. I join in for the current events.
Somebody doesn't give a rip about conspiracy theories or extraterrestrial or supernatural beings in the least, but doggone it, they are into energy drinks.
Yes.
And they live for that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, and then there's quite a few of our followers who are on Patreon who are just straight up, I'm tired of the agenda. I want to hear you guys just sit down and talk every week. And I'm like, it's wild to me.
Yeah.
That you would pay me to just
sit here
listen
and be
in
myself.
on an hour of my day. Like, yeah. Like it's just like a snippet of an hour of my life.
That makes me really happy though, because that's my favorite way to talk about things.
Hey,
I really enjoy that kind of episode.
if you can monetize it, monetize it.
Well, it's
so funny.
nice to hear that somebody likes that.
Yeah.
So
Dude, I regularly get people from the Patreon that are like, dude, I love it when you guys just talk. I don't like when you don't have an agenda on Patreon. That's my favorite. And I'm like,
Yeah, I get that too.
That's crazy to me.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet he the maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?
But anyway, speaking of Patreon, join the Patreon, patreon.com/BA Bigfoot. There's a $5 tier, a $10 tier. And honestly, even if you just like buy it 1 month and then binge everything and then wait a few months and do that, like we're cool with that. Don't ever feel like I'm going to be offended because you can't afford to be a monthly subscriber, but you like the content enough that you binge it. Do it. Take advantage. Whatever you got to do. But the Patreon is helping us fund the next step of the project. So we should talk about last week of we're getting ready to start rolling out some merch. We're getting ready to hopefully start going with video at some point once I can get stuff down timing wise so I'm not burnt out, all that stuff. Patreon supports that and funds that. And so you guys, every penny that comes in through the Patreon goes into the podcast currently. So all that to say.
The buy and then binge method is probably the most effective for someone like me, because I will spend like a couple of months listening to podcasts like all the time.
Yes.
And then I won't touch a podcast for 6 months.
Yeah, I do the same. And then like all of a sudden 6 months later, there'll be an episode that pops up. I'm like, well, that sounds really interesting. And then I'll just binge everything I had missed.
Do you get listening like anxiety, like FOMO, that you're going to like, if you miss a week of like, if someone's a super regular uploader, like, dude, I listened to the first like 200 episodes of Unsubscribe, and then I missed like 3 weeks and I was like, I can't catch up. And I haven't listened to an episode since. That's been like a year.
I literally did that with both Blurry Creatures and the Exorcist Files. I haven't listened to either of those podcasts in a year, and I probably hadn't missed an episode in like quite a while. But also while doing the podcast and like doing my own research, I find that a lot of times I get frustrated listening to some of those podcasts that talk about things I know about because I'm like, ooh, you're kind of embellishing that a little bit. And then on the other side, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. And then I just dive into it and I stop listening to them anyway.
Yeah.
And so
that's how I feel when I listen to this podcast and I miss a week. And I'll be listening, and I just want to argue with you so bad. And like, so I'll call you on the phone, be like, "Hey,
he's not joking, guys. I know you like your inclination is to think that Mike is joking right now. He is not joking. He will do that. At the very least, he will send me a text and be like, "Hey, remind me to talk about this point and this point." I'm like, "Bro, stop it. I don't care."
He cares. Don't let him lie to you. He cares
a little bit, maybe a little bit. All right, a couple advertisements. Splat Pest Pros servicing the southern panhandle of Nebraska. These are not advertisements. These are just people that we know that we believe in their products. We believe
how
in
you
them.
prefaced it with a couple advertisements, and then
I know,
you
and
said
they're not ads.
advertisements.
And I have to distinguish that because we are not getting paid for these, so it does affect.
We're advertising for them. It's just not.
Right. It's not paid advertising. There you go.
It's not sponsored. We're not sponsored.
Not a sponsor, but they're awesome.
But they're cool people.
And they're also people who
like them.
I like to, and if you're a local business and you've heard our podcast and you want some advertising space, the one thing that we do ask is that you give a discount to our customers. I don't want to advertise for you for free unless you're going to give our subscribers a discount. So at least like there's a win in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you just come to me and you're like, hey, you should advertise for my business. What's in it for me? You know, like what does it benefit because they have to listen to the ads. But anyway, if you mention the podcast for Splat Pest Pros, you get 20% off your initial treatment, which
You're
is
getting really good at saying that really fast.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And then again, hit up Theo G at Chakra Tattoo. If you say you're from Bigfoot, you get 25% off of your tattoo and a flat rate cheap piercing. If you're going to get your eyebrow pierced or something like that, just go do it. And mention the podcast and do the things. You guys are amazing. Also, last thing is don't join the Discord. Discord's free. What?
Insane Labs?
Oh yeah. Insane Labs. Insane Labs is kind of making a little bit of a change. So we're affiliate with them as far as like we have the discount code worked out through them and everything. Right now they're kind of going through a change, and so I'm not sure what the discount is going to be and how much it's going to be for, but we still do have the discount. Use the discount code BABigfoot and you will get a discount. I just don't know how much it's going to be in the future going forward, but that is still there. And join the Discord. Discord is free. Like we just hang out and we talk.
Yep.
We had a pretty cool conversation. Mike brought it up and then I created a post about it, but then we started talking about it on Discord of if to have ChatGPT prompt is based off the information you know about me, turn me into a villain. What is my superpower? Create an image. I thought that was a pretty cool prompt.
It was cool. And we kind of discovered as we like read our powers and things as villains is that like villainy really comes down to who says you're a villain. Like, none of those powers were necessarily evil.
Yeah, we were starting to debate back and forth about like, but being a true villain would mean that you were the bad guy, but you're
to who though?
But exactly, and so like
to the majority,
right?
You know, to the people in power, you are, you're their anti person. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what makes you the villain. You know, so it's
I agree with that, and that's where I guess
depends on whose story you're reading.
To whose story?
Yeah, whose story is it? Are you the villain, or are you the the sidekick, or because who are you?
To all of us, Mr. Gates is the villain, but
Big G
to Mr. G, he's the hero. He thinks he's the hero.
Okay,
and the people who are like trying to stop him, we're the villain.
That is a very interesting topic that I would love to like explore way more. But I just want to ask really quick. Does Jeffy B really think that he's the hero? That man has a villain laugh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, does he really think he's good?
I think that his thought process is that he is trying, like a part of me thinks that he genuinely believes that he's advancing humanity to the next stage of evolution. Like, if you're that rich and wealthy, what is your goal in life?
Dude is literally John Hammond.
Right. Like, your goal can't be like, if you're Elon Musk, your goal isn't, I'm already the richest man in the world, I'm just going to get richer. Like, that can't be your end goal, because you would stagnate.
He's at the point where in interviews he'll even say, he's like, I'm making all this money, but he goes, in 20 years money's not going to be the valuable thing anymore. So
so he's trying to advance it. Your goal has to be something more than money.
I see Elon as a different case, because that one I agree. Elon is that way.
Yeah.
Bezos, less so. Like, I feel like he has literally just been like, well, screw it, I'll just own this now, I guess. Like, I don't think that man knows half of what he owns. I think he just saw it and was like, buy. That's doing well, buy. He looks at stocks, he's like, buy. I own this now.
Right.
I own this now.
And
I own
Red
this
had
now.
the
Somebody
idea
manage
of
that.
rather than looking at yourself as a villain in this situation, look at it as an anti-hero.
Yeah.
So the idea of an anti-hero is that they have a heroic.
They're doing good
goal.
things, but they're not necessarily
They're not doing it in
morally
a good way. Right.
Right. Yeah.
So
And that's
I can
cool
see
too.
that. That makes more sense.
Interesting.
I like both takes. Mine. So let me read to you. So this is quote directly. Turn me into villain was my superpower. Create the image. That sounds fun. I'm gonna do a voice. Okay, for my ChatGPT.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
put an
Just for
accent
fun.
in it.
Yeah.
Can you try and do it like GLaDOS from Portal?
No, I'm just gonna sound like really hyper, like golden retriever energy.
Okay.
That sounds fun. I'd love to do it. But to turn you into a convincing supervillain, I'd need a photo of you first. Upload a clear picture, full body, or at least chest up, and I'll transform you into a cinematic villain. Based on what I know about you, your style, here's the concept I would use. Villain name, The Harbinger. You're like, saying that
So
in positive. The superpower, truth distortion. You can see hidden connections no one else notices. By speaking, the voice is kind of annoying me, but I'm glad.
You sound exactly like you sound in the Insane Labs videos.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The AI.
Sound like AI too.
Yeah. Yes.
The AI too.
It's disgusting. I hate it. Stop.
By speaking, you can unravel lies, expose secrets, and collapse carefully constructed narratives. Your eyes glow molten gold whenever your power activates. Shadow behind you briefly form into monstrous silhouettes representing the hidden forces you've uncovered.
I'm gonna break your mind.
Technology flickers around you as reality itself struggles to contain what you're revealing.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop it. Stop it. I couldn't listen back to that if I had to.
But the weird thing was that it was like, I need a detailed image of you so that I can have it.
I know we joked about that. Like, what is it?
Oh, what
Ooh.
do you want?
Send me a full body pic. Whoa, easy there. Easy there.
Send me your hairy feet pics, like, and I'll generate an image of your harbinger.
Chili pepper.
Oh my gosh! Well, it was fun.
Spicy.
Yeah. So
Honestly, that doesn't sound that bad.
no, I was like, that was actually really cool.
Like,
Yeah, my
Revealing
accent
carefully
aside,
constructed narratives, like
yeah, it's almost like it's almost like that. You almost are like the truth to the point that it destroys the world. You know, it's like uncovering the truth at all expenses in spite of what it might
Is there
do.
a movie like that? It seems like there was, but I don't know. I have no idea what it would be. I can't see it
For real.
But like that just
sounds
seems
cool.
like a
Yeah, it's,
movie that would have
and
been
then
made in the 90s.
In the image that it created, it did a few more things, and it says, zoom in. He sees what others refuse to see. He connects what others deny exists. He speaks truth and reality breaks. His abilities, narrative shatter. With a word, he shatters false narratives and exposes hidden agendas. Connection sight. He sees every thread, every link, every lie woven together. Reality flicker, which is the more truth he reveals, the more reality struggles to contain it.
Wait a minute. It's like Neo, but juiced.
Yeah, it's like extra hyper. Yeah. And then shadow manifest. The forces of deception manifest in his wake as monstrous forms. I don't create chaos. I just remove the illusion to keeping you blinded to it.
Dude, that's
actually really
that's sick.
really cool.
That's actually super sick.
That's some of the fun shenanigans we get into in the Discord. It's not all just like Bigfoot, cryptid, darkness, evil, demons. It's like, hey, here's a fun thing. And Commandy's been doing a little Bible study thing that he's been posting and conversating and just kind of like expanding on scripture and stuff like that. And like, there's all kinds of things going on in the Discord. So join the Discord, shoot me a message on any social media, anything, anywhere you can get a hold of Biblically Accurate Bigfoot podcast.
I love how I'm just
message me and I can get you a link.
like I suggested the Discord initially, and I'm just a lurker.
No, you don't even participate.
Just in the background.
I'm just messed up.
Just watching.
It's messed up.
Watching.
Yeah.
In the corner.
It's all right. But it's a lot of fun. And honestly, at this point, I feel like we comment the least in it at this point.
Yeah, I kind of sit back and read. I
love it. Like
but yeah.
And it's not that we're not, like, because like I'm still very active. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very active in the Discord, but we just have enough dialogue going on that I can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
And so I'll binge read when I have time, and then
I think that's what I think that's why I became a lurker, is because it's similar with like missing a podcast. Like I was just overwhelmed by the like idea of not being able to keep up, and I was like, I'm just,
when I look in there and there's like 35, 40 messages, I'm like, okay, I'll skip down to the end and kind of catch.
Catch the
skim.
TLDR.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. My villain's catchphrase was, "Don't mistake my kindness for weakness." Dun dun dun. Yeah. It was kind of a creepy picture that it came up with. He's like got purple souls swirling around him, like screaming.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
I just thought it was going to go generic and just make you a bard.
Yeah.
Just be like, you sing and the world destroys.
Yeah, you're a singing guy.
destroys.
Welcome to today's episode where Mr. Nice Guy destroys the world with his voice.
Sweet.
You listened to two.
That was good. That was good. No, it leaned more into my counseling stuff, which was interesting. Yeah, like absorb
your AI's
people's
know
negative
you
energy
a
and
little
fire
too
it
well.
back at them. Kind
I
of.
don't like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
let me make sure I didn't miss anything on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The last thing I was going to ask, just for funsies, just for funsies, guys, just for funsies. No, this was actually, if you haven't yet, please rate us 5 stars on whatever you're on, and then while you're listening, take a second and just comment something. Comment 5 words, no emojis. It doesn't even have to. You could just say, "Hey, I'm commenting because you told me to." Like that's all it needs to be.
That's more than 5 words, sir. You're asking a lot.
It doesn't need to be anything thought-provoking or anything like that. But it pains me how much you rating the episode, rating the show, and you commenting affects the algorithm. It pains me how much it actually does affect it.
yeah.
It's no longer just about who listens, because I've even noticed that podcasts that I never miss sometimes will get dropped in my algorithm if they have an episode that isn't tracking as well as it used to be. So everything, even the podcast system, is beginning to be ran by algorithms. So take a second and it boosts the episode. It boosts the show for a moment. It does help us so much more than you even know. If you can't afford Patreon, that is a way that you can help the show without investing a penny. Just comment on every episode that you listen to a little ways in. Once you've listened to the commercials, just listen.
Related.
Comment.
Related. Did you see something about MySpace coming back?
Why are you in my brain right now? That's what I was going to talk about. Supposedly,
I don't want to drag us into current events.
they're bringing back MySpace and they're not going to allow any algorithms.
Yeah.
It's gonna
that would be amazing.
Completely human popularity.
Apparently,
I'm going to create a podcast
They're going to
page.
screen for AI. They're going to try to keep AI out of it.
dude.
Let's go. I'll go back to creating.
I know,
dude. I'll go back to creating the designs and everything freehand if it means that it is truly pushed by its popularity.
I am sick of algorithms.
Oh, me too.
I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
They're everywhere, and it just drives me nuts.
Well, and
At their basis, it's like I understand some of the premise of it is like you want to push content that people like. I get that, but when it becomes like, okay, you can do this to manipulate the algorithm to push your thing, but if you pay us $30, we'll skip all of that and we'll push it for you without you having to fit into the algorithm.
I want things to be pushed that people decide they like and actively, intentionally push.
Yeah.
Because the algorithms that are in place right now do not embrace quality or goodness. They embrace lizard brain dopamine reactions.
Yes.
And I hate it.
I will say the podcast algorithms favor that. They favor who's watching it, how long are they watching it.
As you just said, like
But
it's starting
little
to shift.
things like comments and ratings and stuff are beginning to shift it. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and the bots are running everything on there.
Gosh, I was on TikTok the other day where you were on.
Yeah, I was on the TikTok.
I
Yeah.
had like 1,000 comments.
Yeah.
And it was pure bots. And but the craziest thing about it was all of them were like wildly inappropriate.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah, well, because the bots are learning. The bots are learning what gets the attention.
Thought bots?
Was
it the thought bots?
Yeah, dude.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Oh
Bad.
my gosh! My
Like,
my
you couldn't
room
even carry
was
a conversation because we were
wild.
trying to get rid of them.
They're like
all.
rats in New York City.
It was probably
they're
a
terrible.
good. It's probably a good 15 minutes of the live was just us editing the bots out. It was
Well, even the
wild.
administration of TikTok right now is ran by
was so
ran by bots.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's
But
so bad.
One thing I did notice though is that because of the bots and how many people were in my room, how many comments were being posted, it did push my live out, and I did get a lot more people who were real people in the room for the rest of the entire
that's
thing.
good.
Yeah.
So the weird thing is, like, as annoying as that
worked.
was, it does help, and it's like
does do what it's
I'm
supposed
not
to do.
upset at it, but it. Oh my gosh, it was ridiculous. Also, the thing that makes me the most mad is that some of the things that they posted were wildly inappropriate.
Yeah.
And if I were to say those, I would get banned and a restriction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They comment it, I report it, and it goes, there was no violation
TikTok
sensed.
does not actually care about
It's because the AI bots are
of that.
who. That's the
That's good. They're
administration.
regulating themselves,
If you,
yeah.
if you send a question to TikTok, you get an answer from a bot. Like it is no
I have
longer
reported
humans.
So stupid.
I have
running that
reported
thing.
stuff that had borderline illegal content in the name.
Yeah.
And it TikTok's just like, nah, whatever. It's fine. I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It was crazy.
no, it's not.
Meanwhile, one of our friends in the Insane Labs has been banned for like a month by the TikTok bots for spamming, and it's because she clicked the like button too many times.
One of the
Do you know
crazy.
they can actually
Crazy
ban
stuff they will ban you for.
Well,
but-
they'll even ban certain things. Like, I had a friend that bought one of the screen tapper things, and apparently she tapped too many times.
Yeah.
And she wasn't allowed to like
Every time she would
tapping
like it, yeah, I know you're
the height
talking about.
It banned
It would
her
ban her.
tapping the screen. It was like, what?
That's-
It's crazy.
But it's a part of your system. Like, you promote them tapping the screen, and then you're
not
like,
a
hey,
part of
stop
your
tapping the
system.
screen. You're doing too much of what we want you to do, so please stop. And like,
Well, it's just
what?
crazy to me. And like even like if you go live, like the stuff that you're not allowed to say is wild to me because the stuff you
Yeah.
can say is crazy on one end, but the stuff you can't say, like you can't say fat, you can't
There's
say
no logic
schedule.
to it. There's
You
no
can't
logic
say
to it.
GLP-1. You can't say because I do follow a lot of dieting stuff. They have a whole list of things they can't say.
Can't
they
take
use all this code.
testosterone.
Yeah,
Test. You can't.
yeah. Even if you say test too many times,
Yeah.
it'll throw throw a 3 in a one.
It's crazy. Anyway, well, let's do the numbers. Okay,
31.
Okay. I'm gonna say number 3.
40.
Wow. All right. I'm gonna ask the question. Ask a question.
No, you give the answer, right? Or-
Yeah.
How did,
Well, kind
how
of.
did you? I don't
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
how we did this.
This is what I do with toenails. What to do with toenails.
How do I choose which cheese to put on my Philly cheesesteak?
Forrest believes in you.
Man, we're not close on that.
That's so bad.
Forrest, that's so Forrest specific. Like you, that one's rough.
There should be a towel in the bathroom.
I forgot I had that.
Man down! Man down! Save the precious elixir. Phil, it's always Phil breaking stuff. It's always Phil. Man. Phil's broke 2 of my chairs. Yeah, and he now has the broken chair.
Yeah.
And
Philip.
so Phil,
professionals, don't worry.
the trope is you're always censored, but maybe we need to change the trope back to Phil always breaks stuff.
Brother, we're professionals. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this in too, just so you
I
know.
know you are. I know. That's what I'm trying to do.
In fact, maybe I'm going to add
What?
it as a beginning part.
If Phil is the break stuff, why is there a hammer in front of him during the podcast?
Temptation.
Oh, okay. We're testing.
We're trying to-
testing
yeah.
him. Oh, I was going to do Andy's back, but now he's taking his sweet time.
I know you were.
He knew what I was doing. Just messing with my game today.
I was fixing the thing. Leave me alone.
And we're back.
That was fabulous.
And we're back.
All right. Well, let's get to some current events. Any of you guys have a current event you want to talk about? I
know there was something, but
the
I don't remember what
MySpace
it
thing was interesting.
You'll say something, and it'll remind me of something.
Yeah.
Okay. I did a little bit of research last night on a current event. It's kind of current. It's kind of current, just for funsies.
It's kind of event.
So, you know how it's been kind of hot?
Nah.
Yeah.
It's a little hot, right? We've been kind of complaining. It's like, it's been 100 degrees. Last year.
Dude, yesterday was so nice.
Last year, dude, and that's part of the reason I started researching a little bit.
I almost felt cold yesterday.
Yeah,
it was.
It was like 75 and windy, and I was like, "Ooh, I put a jacket on."
I know.
Outside, like, this is wild. Starting to feel like those guys from Arizona. They're like putting a jacket on when it's 80 degrees out. You know, I started feeling like that. But it's been 100 degrees a lot lately. So I came up upon a post. It was like talking about because we've broken in Nebraska a lot of all-time highs, which were set in 1936. Mm-hmm. Like, and across the board, they were 1936. Like, I think in the state of Nebraska, there were the last that I looked. I should have researched this while I was looking it up, but the last I looked, there was like 15 different towns that broke their all-time highs this year. And those all-time highs were previously in 1936. So I started thinking a little bit, and I was like, what was it like in 1936? Because I'm thinking, dude, we have air conditioning right now. Mm-hmm. Now imagine that temperature, the temperatures we've been having without air conditioning. And people lived here in 1936.
Yes.
Like a lot of people lived here in 1936.
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Some of these towns
heat
were
in Europe. We talked about that. Like, people have lived in heat forever. Like, I don't understand why we're
a lot of these small a lot of these small towns. More people lived here.
Yeah,
there were more farms. There were because all of the farms were separate. There wasn't these large farm corporations. So there was a lot of people out here, even compared to today in 1936. So I started looking it up. And so far this year, Chadron has had between, and I kept finding different answers for this, so I'm just giving a brief number. So Chadron, Nebraska, just one example. Chadron has had between 12 to 1,400 degree days this year, which for us is a lot.
That's quite a few.
Because even further south, even just like to like Sydney, they have a lot more 100 degree days than we do because we're farther north and we have anyway. That's a lot. Last year, I think we didn't have a single 100 degree day last year, from what I saw. Yeah, I was doing research, and if we did, it was just barely.
Yeah. And
it was once. Yeah. So and last year wasn't horribly abnormal for us. So that just kind of shows you how 12 to 1,400 degree days. Okay. So, I started looking it up, and in 1936, this is the year, because I was like, those are the record-breaking years, right? So 1936, Chadron had 3,600 degree days.
Oh,
wow!
And
that's a third of the summer.
Toasty year,
and that's over a month.
That's entire
for the year as a whole. 1936 wasn't even the hottest year in Chadron. The hottest year in Chadron goes to 1934. So, I started doing a little more research, and I started looking up the whole region. So, we're talking Kansas City all the way to Chadron, the region, okay?
Right.
Decades. So, this is the whole region, like average temperature, okay? Decades with 100 degree temps. So these are total days in a 10-year period from the zeros to the zeros. Okay. So like, for example, we're in the 2020s. So it'd be 2020 to 2029, basically.
Right.
So you get what I'm saying. Okay.
January 1st, 2020 to, December 31st, 2029.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Decades with 50 plus 100 degree days. We had the 2010s, the 2030, or the 1910s, sorry, the 1910s, the 1930s, the 1940s, the 1950s, and the 1980s. Okay. So those are the hottest decades on average. So then we have decades with 60 plus 100 degree days. We have the 1930s, the 1950s, and the 1980s. Decades with 70 plus 100 degree days. We have the 1930s and the 1950s. Decades with, now here's the thing, that number keeps going. 80, decades with 80 plus days, we have the 1930s. 90 plus, we have the 1930s. 100 plus, we have the 1930s. 110 plus, we have the 1930s. 120 plus, the 1930s. 130 plus, the 1930s. No, 140 plus, the 1930s. The 150 plus days with 100 degree temps, we have the 1930s. We're 160 days with 100 degrees or above, we have the 1930s. 170 days, we have the 1930s. 180 days, we have the 1930s. More than double the amount of 100 degree days in the region on average. More than double the next hottest decade.
Jeez.
So, when we think about that, what was going on in the 1930s? Okay.
Dust Bowl.
And they blamed it on agriculture. And I'm not saying that the agriculture was great or anything, because there was a lot that went to it, because what caused the dust was that the farmland came in, disrupted all the natural natural grasslands, which held the dirt down and that could, resist all of this stuff and all that.
Whereas disrupting the natural gas would push the dirt up.
Yeah, right.
Very quickly.
but excellent point. But a part of me thinks, would it really have made much of a difference if there were more than double the amount of 100 degree days and it was literally twice as long of a heat like that?
Yeah.
Like, think about how dry it is here right now off of 12-ish 100 degree days. Now imagine 3,600 degree days in a row.
Yeah, and
we're not necessarily
we irrigate
but
water
in that
now.
summer.
Like back then, they didn't do that. Like it was what it is.
And the crazy thing is, global warming, temperature, things rising, all that stuff, whatever. I'm not even getting into that. I'm just saying, this isn't even close to as bad as it was in 1936, let alone the 30s.
Yeah,
we're not even in the same. We went an entire year without getting 100 degrees last year. So the 2020s, we're not going to compete with that. And it makes you wonder. Right. But it makes you really seriously wonder if, maybe it was just a really, really bad temperature swell during the 30s.
Yeah.
And maybe because if we had our current farming practices, and we went through a decade like that, what would the news be talking about? They'd be talking about this is man-made. We got to fix this now. We need to pass legislature to fix this. Our farming practices are evil and blah blah blah. What wouldn't they say?
Right.
And so it's crazy to me. So part of it, honestly, wonder if some of the conversation about farming practices and stuff like that wasn't just propaganda to try to get people to come back in here and try farming again, with the idea of don't worry, this won't happen again. It was the farming practices that caused this. Yeah. It wasn't the fact that it was 100 degrees for 180 days over this decade. That had nothing to, it was the farming practices. So that people then go, oh, okay, well, we've got more modern farming practices now. We just know we need to rotate crops. We need to keep things in the ground. We need to do this, and we won't have another dust bowl.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, that was fun. All right, that was I was like, hey, this is popping up. And my brain, Phil, what I'm talking about. We just talked about it. My brain just hyper focused. And I was like, what was this? Because and what got me started was, because I was like, man, if we broke all the temperatures, this has to be hotter than 1936, right? How many 100 degrees have we had? No. It was much hotter in 1936. Yeah. It was much hotter. It just didn't have the highest temperature. It had the longest.
You said we've had
12
to 14
this year so far.
This year?
So
okay.
Far. We're probably going to have more.
So basically, they had this degree on average every year for 10 years.
For 10 years.
And guaranteed they had
think
worse and better. But
two average, because two average 100 over 180 100-degree days over a 10-year period. That's 18 per year.
Yeah.
That's this year every year.
Yes.
That's crazy to me, for an entire decade.
Well, and just imagine if it was like that now, I don't care how much irrigation water, even as hot as it was in Alliance, they asked everybody to alternate their watering schedules to save water and things. Like if it was that bad for 10 years again, we would have another dust bowl. I have no doubt in that.
Yeah.
Like it's so dusty here anyway.
Oh, dude.
Like my family gives me a hard time about how dirty my truck is. And I'm like, I literally washed it yesterday.
The dust is bad right now. Yeah,
there's just dust everywhere around here. And I can't imagine if it was, this is 1 year.
Right.
And it's as dry as it is.
I wonder how much correlation there is between the heat and precipitation.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like it could be hot and still rain more than this.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's still going to cook things faster and dry things out faster, but like I wonder how much how much that actually is.
Well, all I know is that, just a throwback to episode 100 of the podcast, AC was the most important invention, because if the 1930s happened again, I'm gonna be a baby about it.
I'm being a baby now. I'm being a baby now. I'm inside every chance I get.
I'm complaining. Well, the other day is like, okay, the sun was kind of going down, and Bennett was like, I just want to go outside, and I was, because it's been so hot.
Yeah,
it was like we wake up in the morning and it's already 80 degrees and the sun's already hurting.
Yeah,
and I was like, we gotta get you out of the house. And we walk outside and it was 86 degrees still, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, it's night. What is going on?
Well, I wanted to mow, but I was waiting for it to get cooler.
I mowed yesterday.
It doesn't get cool.
I mowed yesterday.
Yesterday was the day.
Yeah, I finally got mine done too. It was starting to get kind of gnarly. We took Bojangles out for a good romp last night, and it was like you said, it was almost chilly. It was like 75 degrees. I was like, this is nice.
Gosh, it's so crazy. But anyway, AC, important. If you don't know what we're talking about, go listen to episode 100. It was a good one. All right, moving on. Have you guys seen there was a guy who basically confirmed surveillance pricing. Do you know what surveillance pricing is?
No.
Surveillance pricing is when a store, online or in person, monitors you, what you spend, how much money you spend, what you spend things on, and then determines the price of an object based off of you and your likelihood to still buy it at the maximum dollar that you would be willing to buy it at.
Hey, you got to accept cookies to shop on our site.
Yep. That's basically, and so this guy went in and he got with a couple different people from their house. No information. Nobody had any information. And he then picked a random website, just like spur of the moment off top of his head. Hey, let's go check out this. And each of them went and looked at the price that was online for this product. And each one of them had different prices.
Oh.
And so he's basically confirming in real time while he's recording this that these companies, and I'm just, for the sake of allegedly, I'm not going to say who because I don't want anybody coming at me. So allegedly, these are like the places everybody shops at. We have one in town here.
Yeah.
Just to get, like, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And they're confirmed that their prices are different based off of, and it wasn't like, oh, you get a special discount because you're a member. It was just each of them just went on their normal phone and just searched the prices. So that leads to the next section, or the next question of, if that company is doing it online, could they be, the second you walk in, they're checking your face, and now the prices of the items are digitally placed there. Mm-hmm. So could even in-person buying be changing based off of who is looking at the price?
Theoretically, yeah, because they change it with the main computer. They don't go around with the little tags anymore in a lot of stores.
Yeah. And if that store is doing it online, what's preventing them from doing it in store now?
Yeah. Most items still have the like tag under though, right? Like on the shelf.
It depends on where you go. Some of there's a lot of like the big chain stores that they're all digital.
It's pure digital.
Really?
And even
clothing
here,
stores. You go into clothing stores, they're digital.
Even here, there's a lot of things that are just pure digital now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no law or regulation that has to determine that. They can set the pricing wherever they want to price it, apparently.
That's interesting. Never thought about that.
Yeah.
Because they can change it on the go.
They can change it on the spot. And so apparently now, and I would imagine it probably has to do with maybe whoever the manager is and their desires, I guess. I don't know. But you almost wonder if the overhead corporation couldn't override what the local person wanted.
So the realist in me says that's a lot of work. But
how much work is it?
But also the conspiracist in me says there is AI that could do that.
I was going to say,
if they're already doing it online, that they don't need much more than just to apply it to the end store.
But then it'd be running crazy. The algorithm of the people in the store as a whole rather than
I think it would take more effort to run it on everybody getting on the website. Than it would just the people in the store at that time. Yeah.
Mike, I think it's simpler than you're making it, because if it just keeps a running database of everyone that's currently in the store, then it's only adding one new piece of information and adjusting based on
just
right.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. If
much.
it's AI, it's not much.
Yeah, it's not much.
I mean, where does Amazon has the store that you go in? There's no clerk. She just takes stuff off the shelf and it scans you and runs it on your Amazon account on the way out. You don't have to scan anything.
That's
or
the
check
most
anything.
dystopian crap.
I know. You just grab what you want and it just puts it on your account.
So much.
Okay.
And if you put it back, it puts the money back in your account.
So
it's crazy.
Okay.
Why?
What if you
now let's take a leap of faith here, okay? Now we've got things like the flock and the also I want to put this out there. Is it called
Mike, can I just go grab a Pringles can off the shelf and eat them and then put it back and not get charged?
But you probably could get away with it for now. Maybe. So I know we've talked a lot about the flock cameras.
Yeah.
We also need to take a second and talk about the Axon cameras. Those are literally so there's a conspiracy
specific
theory
about what cameras you're talking about, because Axon also provides body-worn cameras for most law enforcement.
Yep. Same company.
That's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, same company.
Well, okay. Yeah.
So
the same company.
The same.
Are they putting them up
person.
like flock cameras?
Yes.
Okay.
And so the difference between flock cameras and the Axon cameras is that the Axon cameras technology, they're integrating the AI to run facial recognition and begin autonomously within the cameras. Allegedly, this is all just for fun, make a believe. I'm not going to say anything like that. This is just funny. Ha ha ha. That their cameras are running their stationary cameras at the very least are running facial recognition and constantly running it around and sending alerts to some of the big cities, PDs. Remember when we talked about it in Colorado? Mm-hmm. So basically, effectively, the same thing happened. And it is possible that might not have been Flock. It might have been Axon that sent the code originally back then. But the guy just assumed it was Flock camera. But anyway, so Axon cameras, there's a conspiracy theory that the reason we're only talking about Flock is because Axon is spending a lot of money to get Flock cameras under hot water so that Axon can then come in and then buy it all basically and become a mega corporation.
The old RoboCop strategy.
Literally.
There you go.
So anyway, all that to say, there is the camera system called the Axon cameras, and Flock cameras, Axon cameras, both of them are doing shady things. Now let's add a third element to this. Okay, so now we've got the surveillance pricing on goods. We've got the Flock, the Axon cameras outside of the stores. The stores are already running the facial recognition. Now let's throw in something like the mark of the beast. How hard is it then? So now it says that you have to have the mark of the beast written upon your forehead. How much easier is it to confirm the scan, the facial recognition scan,
Well, how many scholars have also said that the mark isn't like an actual, like a mark?
It might not be.
Maybe it's just a scan.
But to buy and sell goods, you would have to look at the camera, pray allegiance to the beast, so that when you go into the store, you're allowed to purchase things.
Interesting.
And everything would just be automated.
That was kind of my thought when they first started doing that story you're talking about, where you just walk in and it scans, like, as you grab stuff. Like, it was just like, oh, well, they got to have some form of ID of that for you. And wouldn't it be convenient if it was just on you, like not in your wallet?
Dude, it's getting wild.
It's there.
It's crazy.
Like, you can see the silhouette of this whole thing.
I know, and and the craziest thing is that, like, I get the arguments that some people make that are for the flock cameras and the Axon cameras and stuff, of being like, well, it is preventing, it's helped with kidnappings. I looked it up and I did my own research on this, and I encourage people to do your own research on everything. But it has helped in less than 100 cases.
I was gonna say it's not.
It's not. The people are talking like it's 10,000. No, it is. It's 100 cases of child abduction.
I've seen the quote like 1,000 times, but I can't remember who said it. But those who would trade freedom for security deserve neither.
Yeah.
Who was that? Anybody remember?
I don't remember, to be honest. I feel like it was off of a movie or something. But
I think it was actually a. Look it up.
I'm not sure. Look it up. I know the quote, but I just don't know who did it. But anyway, all that to say, our local place has multiple flock cameras now, and
that's who I thought.
Ben Franklin.
Yeah.
Okay. There was just a citywide hearing, and I wanted to go, and I wasn't able to actually end up making it. But from what I've heard from people who were there, not a single person spoke for flock cameras other than the 3 council members who voted for it and the police department. Every citizen who was there spoke against it, and they still voted for keeping the flock cameras. That's crazy to me that you, as a council member, would go against everything that your constituents are saying we want and just say, this is what we're doing anyway. And it just, beyond the politics of it, it's crazy to me that you would have like unanimous vote within your body, basically, and you go against it. It's crazy.
Did you see the thing that happened in Salem? Hold on.
I know there's been Ord, Nebraska was the first town in Nebraska to ban flock cameras.
So there was
take out 2 or 3 of them.
There was like a data center representative in Salem, Oregon, that showed up to like a city council meeting, and they had a guillotine outside. They ran him off.
Oh, God.
There was a guy like riding by the place on a bicycle with pulling a guillotine on a trailer.
Oh my gosh.
They ran him out of there.
That's wild. Dude. That's unhinged behavior, bro.
He was like, these people are nuts. I'm out.
I cannot recommend doing that. But holy cow. Yes, that's it. Anyway, the funny thing is that I feel like the flock cameras has been the first real tangible, like, big thing that doesn't cross political lines.
I've been saying since this thing kind of started, I'm like, this might actually be enough to like get action to happen.
You know what?
And I'm not encouraging political violence or anything like that. I'm not encouraging violence at all. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like, whether you're in favor of it or not, like there's been enough division over enough topics that it's hard to get people to move against what we see happening with the government, because there's enough disagreement on how we handle things post like tearing all this down. That there was no like willingness to move, but this has had like a 100% no thank you rate from everyone.
Yeah. I think
Everyone.
I've personally seen like 3 people who were in support of them. And
So like 99.99999%.
I think the idea
Crazy.
behind them
I
is
love
a
the concept.
very great
Yeah.
concept, but on paper, number one, I don't feel like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're like, the numbers aren't there. And I think
it's
people
not-
look at
yeah.
that, and the numbers are available, and people are looking at it saying it isn't doing what we're told that's what they're doing.
right, if the intention is to save kidnapping victims and things like that,
or
and crime.
hunt down high level criminals,
But-
all that stuff.
But the main thing that it's being used for is like traffic violations.
Yeah.
Well, and even
And people monitoring.
I was gonna say,
it's
people
not doing
monitoring.
what we want.
because somebody even said like, and I think a lot of it comes down to the visible dishonesty with it.
Yeah.
Because like somebody said, they're saying it's just for vehicle stuff, but if that's the case, why is there one on like a walking path in my park that's nowhere near like any roads?
Yeah.
It's just like it's so visibly dishonest. Like there's no reason for anybody to trust it.
Yeah.
And I think they've pushed it a little too far to where it's like, we know you'll just sit back and take this, even though you might protest a little bit, you'll take it. And it's like, this is one where everybody's kind of on the same page of like, no, we won't.
Yeah.
No, we won't.
chance.
We're not okay with this. And like, it's being spoken out against
they've-
on both sides vehemently.
And they've had similar camera systems forever that they can identify license plates at 80 miles an hour on the interstate.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And things and put them in database. And they've had all that forever. I think just throwing AI into it and let AI manage it is what everybody's just like, we can't do it that way.
Yeah.
We need
We
humans
can't.
involved.
We can't even trust AI to not break in and hack other AIs.
And
This literally happened.
We can't even trust it to run a social media platform.
when it
Right,
comes
right.
to
It goes rogue.
when it comes
Sends
to
in its own
like
bots.
the license plate readers and stuff like that, that is a separate database that
Right.
is sold to law enforcement agencies and city government stuff like that. It's not. This feels so like unrepresented by the people that we actually put into power.
Yes,
This feels like just a completely rogue,
Yes.
independent thing that's not related to, or it like no one asked for this. No one pushed for this. No one said, yeah, I like that idea. It's just there.
Right.
And everyone's like, what the frick is that? Get that away from me.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a natural reaction of just like, it'd be like if you walked into your house one day and there was just like a dog statue in the corner. You're like, I didn't put that. Who put that there? Why?
Right.
Mom, dad, kid, who put that there? Why is that there? I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just, it just feels bad that you were not asked
Okay. So
about it at all.
So on top of that, because it's like it's not. And here's one of the things that people have begun like destroying them and stuff and getting caught. One of the things they're being charged with is destruction of government property.
Right.
But it's not government property.
Right.
And so I don't understand how they're charging them with government property when it's not the government owns it. Or are you admitting that the corporations are the government now?
Yeah.
So, for example,
I was going
Shadron.
to say either way. Yeah.
Shadron has 3 flock cameras now. It costs Shadron between $2,500 to $3,000 per camera per year, plus a one-time installation ranging from $250 to $1,000. So, at the very least, this town is spending 10 grand-ish on flock cameras every year to maintain these flock cameras. Meanwhile, they just this last year voted that they're not going to plow the roads unless there's more than 6 inches because we can't afford it.
Yeah.
We can't afford to plow the roads, but we can afford to put in flock cameras so you can monitor. Make it make sense to me as a taxpayer. That is not what I want. I want to be able to drive down the road without driving on ice and ruining my suspension because it turns into ice and it just craters all over the place, costing us so much more money. You can't plow the roads, but you can put in flock cameras.
Yeah.
That is another thing that I'm having an issue with is the cost.
Yeah.
If it was, let's say, it maybe our police department is getting a grant from the state and it's free for us. It's still costing us somewhere along the line in order to do that. Like, as a taxpayer, if no matter whether it's our local government or our state government, we're paying the money to put these in, and none of us want them. It's not like they're free surveillance, you know?
The other huge difference to me between like the LPRs and this is that that's identifying a car, which could be driven by anybody. Yep. So there's a degree of privacy and anonymity still there. It's like, yeah, that's my vehicle, or at least that's a vehicle bearing my license plate.
Right.
You know, beyond that, you know, it doesn't hard tie you to a place, right? So like, not that I'm in favor of people being able to completely avoid detection, but there has to be a degree of human interaction with it to confirm. Like, once you've seen, oh, that's that person's vehicle, then you have to get to that vehicle and go, yeah, that's that person driving it. You know, there's a positive ID that's confirmed by a human. If we're talking like criminal cases, whatever, you know, whereas lock camera, if there's facial recognition in this stuff, then you're tied to a spot. You are stuck with it. Yeah. Period. Yeah. And not to say that like that's always a bad thing. Obviously, that's the argument for it, right?
Right.
Is that you can pin a bad person to it, but you can also pin a good person to this, and it's such an invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
And it's being. And you submit to that willingly in some cases, right? If you go through airport security,
right,
you've been getting that for years.
Yeah.
But you had the option to not go there and not submit yourself to that.
Right.
Here now it's like they just put them wherever. And it's like, well, I don't have an option to not go outside. I don't have an option to not go to the store. Yeah. I don't have an option to not go get gas. Like you can't go anywhere now without subjecting yourself to that. And it's like, that's too far.
Yeah.
It's just too far. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Well, we've seen AI mess up, like, and there's even lawsuits now with AI messing up, and how long before that AI messes up and somebody ends up in a court case where they were like, it's not even them. It's just they messed up the algorithm.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, it was your twin. Your evil twin. It's like,
this topic is so fresh right now, but I'm checking this out. Okay. So
sorry, Mom.
No, you're good. No. So Scottsbluff Gearing, they have 15 flock cameras. And so their city is paying minimum $37,500 per year on flock cameras. Up to, if they're paying max price, they're paying $45,000 per year. That is a lot of money for a government that's as like, and Scottsbluff Gearing is the largest municipality combined in the Panhandle.
Yep.
But it's still not a city. It's still just a big town, I think, categorically. $45,000 a year is a lot of money for a town to pay for something that has caught less than 100 kidnappings nationwide.
Well, and Phil brought it up too.
Crazy.
And you both brought it up that if the people in those towns are not voting for it, why is the town paying for it?
Right. Yeah.
If it's a government thing, it should just be done. Like,
Hemingford
shouldn't
has
have to
one
pay
now.
pay a fee. We have a new one. We have a new one in Alliance. I saw it the other day.
Do you?
Yeah, it's a brand new one. They just put up.
Somebody said,
don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Well,
Don't look
according
at it.
to this, it's not flock. That might be an Axon camera.
Oh, maybe.
Because it's not on the flock map.
Somebody said,
Maybe.
just
There's
tell
one right outside of town.
tell crackheads that there's a lot of copper wire.
Hemingford has two.
Yeah.
Hemingford, a village of 750 people, is paying $5 to $6 grand per year to have flock cameras on their town.
So I saw something, I think just
That's a lot of money for that small of a town.
Yeah. I saw something, I think just yesterday, where now that, and maybe this has been a thing for longer than I realized, but where they're putting them on like previously constructed structures, like light poles and stuff like that.
Ours is on a light pole. That new one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
To
about,
make them more difficult to.
Yeah, it's probably about 10 feet. 10
Vanderage.
feet, 12 feet up.
Yep.
Yep. Just chilling on a light pole in the edge of town in the trees.
So, somebody said, I wonder how fast a marble can leave a slingshot.
North Platte has over 50.
That's crazy.
Dude.
That's crazy. And like looking at like Omaha, bro. Omaha's got to have a few hundred.
Oh yeah, easily.
I don't know. It just
that
Seems like there's more near interstate and highway
it's so
towns too.
well, and that
But Hemingford, that's like in the middle of nowhere.
who goes through, because Hemingford, you don't go through Hemingford unless you're going to Hemingford.
Yeah.
Because there's
Yeah,
if you're
'cause
going
it's
to
not on a
Crawford and
real
the back
highway.
road. It's a back road town.
Yeah.
There's nothing major that goes
Yeah.
through that.
and it's but so there's currently 100 cities that have rejected the flock cameras. And kudos to Ord, Nebraska, one of those 100. Good job, Ord. Anyway,
Crazy.
all right. Well, that was fun. We for sure, this is going to turn into a two-parter now because that was way more than I wanted. But man, that was a good conversation because I feel like we hadn't talked thoroughly about flock cameras yet. And somebody just asked me, "Hey, have you talked about flock cameras?" I was like, yeah, we talk off and on. They were like, "You should do a segment on it," and I was like, I don't know if I want to get into that, but I really enjoyed that. That was a good one.
last thing I'll say, and I know we already kind of said this, but it feels so 1984. The idea of having it monitoring everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Because
all the time, always. Yeah.
The Fourth Amendment is pretty clear about privacy. Like they valued it for a reason because it's a precursor to, like, yes, you can argue for the benefits that it elevates security, it's safe, it protects, but who is in charge of that, and what is the intention behind it? Because you can't.
Who can they sell it to?
Well, and even
issue.
Forget that. Just like
Who gets access?
yeah, who do you trust to like keep that power to be able to say no, you don't get to have privacy anymore. No, we need to be able to hear and see everything you say and do. Like,
so the Supreme Court, this is something brand new that I just remembered. You just triggered my brain.
oh goody.
The Supreme Court did just rule that tracking a phone number to the location is a search.
Yes, I saw that.
So legally you cannot track a phone number unless you have probable cause now.
Right.
Because it categorizes, it's kind of the same thing as opening the vehicle kind of thing.
I think for the most part that was policy within law enforcement anyway.
Right.
Because
Yes.
I've always, like, if you're going to ping a phone, every dispatch I've ever talked to has been like, yeah, you got to have a dang good reason.
Right.
Like, you don't get to just do that.
Yeah.
Like, it's exigent circumstances or you're getting a warrant.
So
But, yeah.
that's a short step away from them pinging your car location everywhere you go. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if this won't snowball into an anti-surveillance, at least attempt.
It should.
But if we're being real, the powers that be, clearly they.
Yeah.
If you can get the
they circumvent
local
that.
Shadron government in on board, you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
you can get the random local Hemingford government on board with this, what are you saying? Because, okay, everything else aside, I'm thinking of Hemingford now, just because I used to live there. I know the place really well. That is super duper duper conservative country.
Yeah.
If you can convince Hemingford that they need to have, and I don't know if the one that's out on the highway a little bit counts as theirs because it's still Boxview County, but if you can convince Hemingford to have 2 to 3 flock cameras in their town, What are you offering them?
I find the county more concerning. I find the county approving it more concerning than the city.
I would agree. But
town.
But knowing what I know of Hemming for it, like, so imagine that Burton approved or Springview approved 2 flock cameras. You couldn't see it happening, right?
No.
That's what I'm saying about
I know. Yeah, no, I agree 100%.
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't
I'm just
see
saying,
it,
like,
in fact,
I find it even, because, like...
Shadow doesn't surprise me. There's a lot of people all over the spectrum politically here.
People in towns...
surprises me.
People in towns, as a general thing, very general thing, tend to value the security and that side of things more than the county. So if the county represented people, or represent elected officials okayed it, I find that more concerning than the town, like the village board.
Yeah.
But so
that's all I'm saying.
Right. And
it's concerning regardless.
The bigger picture is, what are they offering? Because I guarantee they didn't just come in and go, hey, you want to pay us $6,000 every year and we'll put up a couple cameras in your town. We could put our own camera up for, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no.
So what did they offer each of these cities? What is Flock offering city councils and local police department chiefs? What are they offering them to put up these cameras and get them and convince them to pay $6,000 plus? Scotts Bluff, get them to pay $50,000 per year to put up cameras. That we're already. Oh, and here's the kicker of it all. Okay, so kidnapping. You know what actually solves most kidnappings is the local people who just have storefront cameras.
Yeah, it's the Ring cameras, and
they already have cameras. Mm-hmm. If it was about the kidnapping, you wouldn't need the stationary cameras because you already have the cameras.
Yeah.
So this is a way to circumnavigate needing approval. So, because in order to get those, you have to actually go through a process to get the footage from the stores. More often than not, the store fraud's just going to offer you the information if it's going to lead to an arrest, right?
Yeah.
Well, now they can circumnavigate that whole system because they have the flock cameras. But we already had the cameras.
Right.
We already have, I have cameras at my house because people keep doing stupid stuff in my house. You know what I mean? Like, we already have the cameras. Why do we need Flock? Why do we need to pay somebody for cameras that our citizens already have?
Yeah.
And how much money, how much money are you offering these city councils? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, my brain goes there. How much money did you offer these individuals to approve this? Like, what could you possibly be offering these city councils? I cannot fathom.
And I've seen, just in our own city council, I've seen them fight stuff, like adamantly fight things that make more sense than this. And
they're just turning over and approving this stuff. It's crazy to me. My goodness. I'm sorry. I keep getting dragged back into it.
I'm sorry. That was my bad.
Man, speaking
not at all.
of monitoring and grocery stores and things like that, Phil, what's your favorite salad dressing / vegetable dip?
I like Dorothy. I'm kidding. I love ranch.
So today we're talking about Dorothy.
Dorothy Lynch Ranch. No,
Dorothy Lynch is in Nebraska.
I like Western dressing. Yeah, well, that's why I was. That's why
a lot of people have never heard of Dorothy Lynch before if they're not from Nebraska.
Dorothy Lynch is very Nebraska, and ranch was invented by a Nebraskan. So,
dude, we invented a lot of stuff.
I mean, let's be fair. Dorothy Lynch is Thousand Island with extra pepper.
Very, very much. But I like Dorothy. Like, genuinely.
I genuinely don't. There's 2 dressings that I use ever, and one is only on a very, very, very specific dish.
Yeah.
Which is the taco salad that my mom taught me how to make, and that's Western dressing. Everything else is ranch. Yeah. It's just ranch.
Yeah.
I do like Dorothy Lynch better than Thousand Island.
Yeah, it's different.
It is different.
But it's very
similar. And if you didn't have Dorothy Lynch and if I was craving Dorothy Lynch and somebody was like, we got Thousand Island, I'm like, cool, that'll hit the spot. But I do like Dorothy Lynch better.
I don't like Dorothy Lynch.
I'm not a huge fan of it. It overpowers.
It's too sweet.
Yes, it very overpowers what you're eating with.
I might have to try Dorothy Lynch again because I haven't tried it in like 10 years.
The only thing I like Dorothy Lynch on is a very primitive, basic salad. Because the sweetness overpowers the bitterness of the salad. And I'm not talking like an iceberg salad. I'm talking like you've got like spinach and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like that kind of salad.
We'll talk about ranches today.
And there's so many different kinds of ranch, like peppercorn ranch, and you've got
we're on a roll today,
you've got
guys.
buttermilk ranch, you've got Skinwalker Ranch,
You've got a blind frog
I
ranch.
actually,
there's a transition.
I was mad.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't care.
I'm giving both of
fighting
you
him
guys
out.
the credit on that.
I
my brain is just like, I'm here, guys. Hello.
We keep getting close, and then we put it in reverse and
gosh.
slam through the back door of the garage.
juked. Everyone's getting juked. Mentally juked.
Well,
I'll shut up.
no.
Stupid.
Which ranch are we starting with today?
Well,
'Cause we've got a lot of ranches.
Let's
to talk about.
not talk about Bradshaw Ranch because I feel like we could possibly do a full episode on Bradshaw
Okay.
Ranch. And so I don't think we
My
have
brain
enough
just
time.
made such a crazy connection. Bradshaw, Terry, put it in reverse.
Oh my gosh.
If anybody wants to know how my brain
Terry.
works, there it is. That's the 5-second cliff notes of how my brain works.
See, and then I immediately, for some reason, because you had a short second clip, my brain goes, "What the dog doing?" Nothing to do with it. That's where my brain went as soon as we were like, "Oh, here's this short viral Vine clip. All right, what the dog do?" Anyway,
What did dog do?
all right. Well, let's start with Blind Frog Ranch. I always want to call it the Blind Frog Creek, and it's not. It's the Blind Frog Ranch.
Right.
This one is because we just talked about the Skinwalker Ranch. Blind Frog Ranch is the one that is closest to.
Yeah, it's about 15 miles south of it.
Super
isn't it? Somewhere
close.
around there.
Yes. Blind Frog Ranch. This one is interesting because it's got its own TV show. But Skinwalker Ranch, the TV show for Skinwalker Ranch, I feel like is very scientific, monitoring.
Yeah.
And whether it's real or not, they do a good job of like basing it in science kind of stuff. But then they go the lore, and then they kind of go off on a trail. But it's like the science is what they try to make the proof.
At the
Does that make
same
sense?
time, though, I feel like the Skinwalker Ranch show is using the science as a veil, because anytime they have somebody on there that wants to see something, they take them somewhere else and show them something really sciencey,
Yes.
and then never show them what they want to see.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like they're using the science to put up a veil over all the cryptid type things.
I can
which
agree
think
with
is-
that.
What I think is interesting, but
I can agree with that.
and I don't feel like the Blind Frog Ranch does that.
Do you think
They're
that
like,
lends
we're
or
going
takes credibility?
crazy. What's that?
Do you think that lends or takes credibility?
I think it comes down to perspective, is what I think. If I watch it from a scientific viewpoint, I get a lot out of it. If I'm watching it because I want to see something crazy, I'm always
I'm
disappointed.
What I'm asking is, like, do you think that taking attention away from the cryptid side of things lends
I think the
credibility
way they
to
do
the
it-
reality, like the truth or potential truth of the cryptids, or do you think it subtracts?
And that's what I'm saying. The way that I overanalyze things, and the way I if you tell me that this is what we're looking at, then I want to see that.
right.
And I don't get that from that show. And to me, that blows apart their credibility
Okay,
as far as,
that's
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're not showing me what I want to see. It's kind of like when you, like, did you ever have to stand up in class and you have to answer the question, but you didn't read the book?
It's
And
the
so you
worst
just
thing ever.
start telling them stuff that you know, even though it has nothing to do with the book. That's what it reminds me of.
I got away with
They
that.
sound
pretty good
very
at that.
intelligent. They sound super intelligent, and it sounds like they answered the question. But when you really look at it, they're not even answering the question.
super
I got
good at
away
that.
with that.
I'm awesome at
in
that.
I probably get it from you.
a college class. I got called up to explain something in hydrology, which is it was taught by like the worst professor in the range program. Like, he was a jerk. Like, sorry, Tony.
Shout out, homie, listening to the show. We love you.
He was.
He might
rough.
hate you, but I love you.
care.
Okay,
He
You're my
was
favorite
rough,
listener.
and he knew it, and he was proud of it. But he called me up for something to explain something, and I BS'd it like hard.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, good." I was. It was so good.
Phil, I'm so good at it.
Those are my best
I passed
achievements.
a semester self-paced class in 8 hours without reading the book. and got a B+.
I did that with a pastoral class. It was based on something that I study very extensively.
Okay.
And I skipped it. I didn't even read the book, and I just took the test. And I missed one question on a 50 questioner. And I was like, skip the test.
It's my favorite skill.
All that matters.
It's my favorite skill.
Yeah.
If you
Very
can,
good at-
but if you
It's
do
so
actually,
OP.
if you know the information well enough to take the test, is it a waste of time to read the book then? And now I've gone back and I've read the book and confirmed what I thought. I already knew the information. So it was cool.
I teach the kids at school that skill. Like, you don't have to say, I don't know.
Oh, and
You just
the one-
tell them what you do know.
the one
and then
question-
it sounds like you answered the question.
The one question I did get wrong, I actually argued with them, and I'm pretty sure that they were wrong.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the question was wrong, and I think that they just have forgotten to change it.
Just take
Still bitter.
95% and be happy.
That's what I did.
Still bitter.
But anyway.
Sorry.
Blind Frog. But anyway,
No, I
in
agree with
contrast, that show, like they
I think you
tell
just
you what
define-
they're looking for, and then they show you what they're doing with it. And it's very
Phil,
it's interesting.
I think you just define this show. We start talking about things, and then we make it sound like we know what we're talking about, but we didn't actually even talk about
Everybody
the
I
point.
talk to is like-
Definitely
everybody
what
I
I
talk
do.
to- yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
Everybody I talk to is like, you guys do such good research, and I'm like,
Yep.
yep.
The best research I do. No, I do
We watch a
actually
lot of
do.
TV.
you guys do research?
I say I am because of the fact that my name is so associated with the show that now people start calling me Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I do my own research, and in fact, Mike and we got into a little bit of argument last week in the 100 episode thing,
well,
and I just want to say, and I want to toot my own horn a little bit. I was correct, and AI was wrong. Because I've gone back and I did some
About
more
which
research
thing?
to double check. Sure enough,
About which thing?
the Fauci pleading the fifth.
is in fact illegal
I'm sorry.
in Congress.
I just remembered
Yes,
something.
that was the
Congress.
thing, because I didn't search in Congress. I
Did
just said
you-
Because I
see.
went, yep, and AI, and I'm
Congress
sitting
it
here and
is
I'm
illegal.
like, Mike, and you're like, it's AI, bro, and I was
Okay.
like, I'm sorry, but AI is wrong here. I've researched this.
3 things.
But for
Tanner,
things like that.
congratulations. Mike,
Thank you.
shame. Tanner, did you see the thing that I
I'm
sent you?
gesturing very. I'm accepting the applause right now.
Victory.
Let me accept. I don't get this with my brother very
Okay, so
often.
but listen, one
Okay?
more thing. One more thing, though. One more thing. One more
No,
thing.
shame.
Because listen, this is what Tanner does.
Dunce cap. Shut up.
Let me educate you, Phil, on how Tanner's brain works. This is what
I
he
know
does.
how Tanner's brain works.
He researches
so lost.
things. He researches things without telling us what he's researching, so he can throw it out there. And then if you argue with it, he's the expert. Because I didn't have a chance to
I'm the
research
expert.
it. See, he does that. Smart. It's smart. I'm not gonna lie. It's smart because I do the same thing.
He was my
But,
student, so
yes.
he knows all about
I was going to
that.
say, Mike was saying he was addressing me, but he was really just addressing the
Yes,
listener.
he was.
I'm you. I'm representing the listener. Tanner, did you see?
Yeah.
Finish your gloating.
And I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for this moment. I appreciate it.
Did you see the thing I sent
I
you?
wasn't done yet, Bill.
Say when.
Okay,
Say
go
when.
ahead.
You
Go
sure?
ahead. Yep, I'm good
Positive.
now. I'm good now. I
You
feel
done?
I feel it in my
Okay.
my soul now. I feel good. All right, continue.
Sorry, Jason. Did you see the thing I sent you of like the side profiles of Fauci from like 2014 and now?
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
the differences?
Yes, I did.
What do you think?
I don't know.
You think it's him or you think he's gone?
I don't know.
You pull the Biden on him?
You know, I don't know. It's possible. It's definitely possible.
Okay.
At the very least, he's had a lot of surgery. And people in that place seem to have surgery a lot on their faces
Yeah.
for some reason.
I didn't realize till after last week. I know we're getting away from the ranch thing too, but that
We're so
the Fauci was
We're on our
involved
own
with the whole AIDS scare back in the 80s. He was the one that scared everybody back then.
Yeah,
the crazy
I
thing
didn't
is,
realize that was him.
everybody hated him.
Yeah.
He was unanimous. I
He
didn't
like
know
disappeared
this.
for a while
Yeah.
and then came back. I didn't realize
yeah.
it was the same guy.
I've been doing my research, and he was unanimously hated.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. People
everybody
scared to go
hated
to
him.
bathrooms and
Can
stuff,
we
man.
can
And
we
then
just
all of a
start
sudden,
referring to
he
him as the
became
AIDS
expert.
guy?
Also, I found this. So I saw this thing, and whatever you think about Trump, whatever. I don't care what your side is. When when COVID first hit, the quote unquote the experts were saying that the mortality rate was 3.5% of people who caught it died from it, and Trump went on air and he was on a phone call on a station, and I think I sent it to you guys this morning, and he was like, from the people I've been talking to, it's looking like it's a fraction of 1%.
Yeah.
Less than 1% fatality rate of this. And they blasted him. We need to listen to the experts, not the so-called president's opinion and all this other stuff. And then come to find out, guess what the mortality rate was?
Yeah.
0.5%. So it was a fraction of 1%. Yeah. And so the WHO, the World Health Organization, completely fabricated that number, and again, it just goes to the propaganda of what our propaganda machine in America decides they run with.
And there was no doubt that it
crazy.
was fatal, and it was rough, and it was terrible, but there were so many lies
I'm not taking that away. Yeah. I'm not taking away. Yeah. And because when we caught it, I still can't taste things very well. It jacked me up. And or smell things very well. I can taste things good, but I can't smell, like, to the point where but anyway, like I cannot smell things very well. So it destroyed my nose. Yeah. And I had a fever of 103 for like 10 days straight. Like, that's going to jack people up.
Yeah.
And I'm not in no way, shape, or form am I taking away from what it did, because it did. Like, and people, and we know people who did pass away from it. And I'm not, in no way am I diminishing that. What I'm saying is, something like that, once it becomes propagandized for political purposes, you can no longer trust the sources.
Yep.
Right.
And you have to do your own research.
Yep.
So what they combated that with was, if you do your own research, you're stupid to think you could do your own research.
Yep.
So then doing your own research was the evil.
Yep.
Right.
And so now we can't trust the WHO. We obviously are learning we couldn't trust Dr. Fauci. And so these are the people who are supposed to be telling us. So who else can we trust?
Yep.
Well, it turns out the president was actually presenting factual information, even though he's not a health organization, like, he's not the professional on it. He was passing down information, but normally we can't even, like, I'm not even, whatever you think about Trump, I can't normally trust what he says from what his mouth says, because his book is The Art of the Deal, and he talks about, like, deception being the art of the deal and stuff. Yeah. And it's like, so who can we trust? We have to do our own research then. But they villainize doing your own research.
You know
Man,
what?
we are so off topic.
We have listeners right now going, what? So what about that? What about that blind
My
frog
mom
flavored
tuned out
ranch?
20 minutes ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Something about frog flavored.
Okay,
ranch,
I'm not even going to apologize.
We'll just do Blind Frog Ranch this week, and we'll do Stardust and Bradshaw Ranch next week. Blind Frog Ranch. And the only reason I want to get to Blind Frog Ranch,
start putting timestamps. Editing timestamps at the beginning, like, hey, if you don't give a crap about everything else.
So if you're on Spotify, I think Podbean does it. I don't know if Apple does, but they have they break it. I have it set up so that it auto breaks it up, and so you can scoot to it or whatever. But Blind Frog Ranch, this episode is so much more than Blind Frog Ranch. This is a flock Fauci and frogs.
Frog Fauci.
Frog frags.
All the F words. We're doing all the
frog
F words.
flocks and Fauci.
Yep.
Frog
like
flocks.
Anyway, okay, so tell me about what you, because I got some different things that I came across with this that I thought were crazy interesting, but I want to know what you...
Blind Frog Ranch, from what I've seen and watching the show, this is one of my guilty pleasure shows. I don't buy into it. I don't buy into everything that they talk about, but it is a guilty pleasure. It's kind of like the Curse of Oak Island.
Yeah.
It's like, I know they're never going to find anything, but it's so much fun watching them not find things.
But they did kind of find some stuff on the ranch.
But then Blind Frog Ranch, they find a lot of stuff, and so it was like, whoa. So I like Curse of Oak Island, but it's like Blind Frog Ranch, they actually find stuff.
Yeah.
And the big push is that, so it's what they originally started. So Blind Frog Ranch was started as just kind of being an alternate to the Skinwalker Ranch. Yeah. They were going to talk about UFOs and stuff like that they see, and the paranormal and skinwalkers and all that stuff. They were going to set out to do that. But then they started finding, like, underwater or underground tunnel systems and things like that. And then they found, like, wooden structures that date back to around the time period when the because there's an old lore that when the conquistadors were going into Mexico, that the cultures there took the bulk of their gold and then transported it up into the Americas and hid it somewhere.
Right. And even like Montezuma's gold, like from the old stuff.
Like
and this guy was the guy that owned it wasn't he an oil magnate from Texas? And like when they figured out that there might be treasure on the place, like he moved his whole family up to Utah so they could pursue that full time and stuff. He was so convinced that there was something going on under there, but he had data. That's the thing. It wasn't just this gold, crazy idea that he had. Like they had data, LiDAR and everything else from the ground, and there was just so many anomalies that they were like, we got to figure out what's under the ground. So they got digging equipment and drills and all that crazy stuff.
Yep. And his son is actually a underwater dive expert too.
Yeah.
And so he would go in and dive into these locations and actually like take samples and
because there's a cave system, but it's all full of water, so they have to dive into this cave system.
It's
crazy.
No, so the theory was that they had dammed it off, put the gold in, and then reflooded it or whatever, so to protect the gold, so that nobody would ever find it.
Did you see the episode where they found the giant wooden box and they were going down there trying to pull it out?
Yes.
Oh, bro! And then they pop up and they're looking around and they're kind of looking and they notice that there's a camera. There's a camera, up on the hill pointing at the entrance to the cave. And when they looked at the camera, that camera can see it's like a high-tech camera that can see the entire ranch. And they didn't put it there. And they have no idea, because it's a remote camera. They have no idea when they pulled it down and they hacked into it, whoever's camera it is, they had deleted all the files from it already.
Yeah.
And they still don't know who put that camera up in the hill. And they don't know how far back that camera got put up there.
Well,
so they don't know how much they saw.
And which
is wild.
How'd they notice it?
Talking about flock cameras and stuff. One of them just noticed it. They were like, "Is that a camera?"
This is a pretty
they climb
decent,
up there and they look.
160 acre property in the Uintah Basin, and so it's very, very hilly, weird, like just rough terrain, just real rough terrain.
But it was in the cracks in one of the hillsides, just stuffed into the crack up there. So they don't know and it was a high tech camera. This wasn't like some rando like tourist went and put a camera up over there. Like this was high tech. Like it was high tech.
Yeah, and there was one episode where they came across a mutilation.
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah, I came across that.
Yeah,
there was because they don't stay there year round, I think, and they had left for the winter, and when they came back, they had found that somebody what they were doing was, and they found the people. They were camping in a public access area on the fence right next to the ranch. And then they were basically driving in and going in from the property. So they couldn't evict them or anything because it was public use land. Mm-hmm. And so they couldn't do anything to their stuff. They couldn't destroy or anything like that. But they went in, they found where they were digging a separate hole down into the tunnel system. And it's a tunnel system.
It's not a cave system. It's a tunnel system. The way it's built is like it was dug tunnels.
It's crazy.
And they found a big. There's like almost like a rectangle chamber that they kept seeing, and so they kept digging down, and stuff just kept happening. They couldn't get into it, and it was really hard. Like the surface of it was just crazy hard, and they couldn't get into it. So then they went down the hill and drilled from the side of the hill instead of going straight down, because then they weren't dealing with as much of the water issue.
Right.
And they actually got inside of it, and they said the walls were like treated. And when they cleared out some of the sediment from the floor is, they put a level on it. The floor is level in this room that's clear under the ground that they had to dig to, like just a room.
And then there was another point where they seemed to find another entrance that wasn't flooded, and they went in and began checking it out, and they quickly realized that it was just flooded with hydrogen sulfide.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so the dude almost died from hydrogen
that'll
sulfide
do
poisoning. They started noticing, and they go in and they figured out that this entrance, something either natural, and they can't find the source, but it is just flooding this entrance, quote unquote, with hydrogen sulfide.
A lot of that reminded me of when we talked about Dulce Ranch too.
I was thinking
with when they busted into the chamber and like the gas came through and like killed a bunch of people. So
well, I was thinking about like the tunnel system kind of reminds me of the theory / whatever that there's the like underground system, like train system between Dulce and Area 51, that kind of thing.
And that had crossed my mind too. What if all these places had this underground system? And the ones that they're finding now are just the abandoned ones,
right?
You know, and stuff. I don't know. There's so many what ifs.
I don't know. There's so much consistency, like with the happenings, right? And I can't remember which other ranch it was that I came across this, but like the mutilations, the UFO stuff, grays, friggin' like all of this is tied together. Like it all feels very similar. It's all in that kind of strip from like Idaho down to.
There's always Native American lore about, you know, that matches up all the way up and down.
You forgot the craziest part about the wood structure thing.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
So when they got some of the wood out and they started investigating a little bit, and they found that there were like hollowed out little tubes within the wood.
Yeah.
And when they broke into it, they figured out that what was hollowed inside of there was gallium.
What?
Gallium.
Yeah, gallium, which is it's a byproduct.
Which they said the Aztecs could have had, but they would have no use for it because they wouldn't have been able to figure out how to use it.
Other than that, it was
because it's too soft.
And I was going to say, isn't gallium the stuff that's like it's solid at just under room temp? Like it melts with the tiniest little bit of heat.
Yeah, so they wouldn't have had any use for it. And so, like, why would they be storing gallium if it is Aztec? But who else would be storing tubes of gallium?
If they would have discovered gallium, because gallium is, we didn't discover gallium until we started producing aluminum, because it is a byproduct of aluminum construction.
Right. Yeah.
And so, in order for them to have discovered gallium, they would have had to have discovered and created aluminum.
Yeah.
And they had never, quote unquote, we don't know for sure, but we don't believe that they had discovered how to create aluminum. And so if they had created it, it's weird.
It doesn't match up with any timeline or any dateline we have in history.
But the dating of the wood that it is encased in dates back to the exact period where they would have transported the wood. It was the exact decade that if they did transport all that gold up and put it in there, it is from that period. And so it's possible. So their theory on the show was that they had discovered and had created gallium and was like, whoa, this is a liquid metal. And so this is priceless like gold. Yeah. And so then they just coveted it like gold. And so they would then, they then were like, okay, well, if the Spanish are taking everything, they're going to take this. Right. And so then they hollowed out wood and stored it, little tubes, stored it in the wood and transported it with the rest of the gold up there. Allegedly. That's their theory. That's their theory.
Yeah.
But the other theory, like otherwise, like, but even beyond that, what purpose would there be in storing gallium in random wood in an underground submerged cave?
Right.
Tunnel thing.
Yeah.
You're like, what is the purpose? And so it's weird.
Yeah.
Blind
that
Frog
is
Ranch
very weird. Regardless of what you think of, like the reason behind it, it's weird.
And given like American history, the museums and everything have done everything they could for any native culture to be dumbed down and savaged and everything else.
Right.
So we don't, they don't know. They don't know. Did they have aluminum and like they couldn't figure out how they made it, and so it just kind of disappeared until they could make it, and then the gallium it's just weird. It doesn't fit any timeline.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense that it's there. And then so they found like some metal scraps that that don't fit, that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, they found a gold ingot like bar.
Yeah,
randomly, but that they attribute it to being the Mormons, right?
Yeah.
Because there's also legend
Hiding gold.
that Mormons had gone and hid gold in the region as well, and so there's a possibility that it's from that rather than from the what was the Aztecs.
Remind me after the episode to talk to you about it. I got into an argument with a Mormon or not even an argument. I dissed a Mormon on TikTok. It was funny. I'll tell you about it after.
Sounds good. Talk about it on Patreon.
And they found markings too that don't match any kind of script that they can find, and they're not the kind of thing that would just show up from like sediment or anything else. They're just, but so they in their brains, they're like, this has to be some kind of writing,
right?
But we can't match it up with anything. We don't know what this is, and so there's just been a lot of crazy things they found over there. I know
lots of
the one I was watching, they were talking about wanting to map out the tunnel system to kind of see where it goes and what it connects to, and maybe find some more chambers and things like that. But it's a whole, it's money, it's time.
Yeah.
You're digging in soft soil that is, has tons of water just flooding in these caves and systems, and you got sinkholes.
It's dangerous.
It's a mess. Yeah.
It's dangerous, especially if you don't have like the right equipment to do like it takes a lot to do that safely.
Yeah. Well, and like so local lore too, and local Ute Native American lore too says it's cursed land, and if you try to dig into the land will make you pay for it, kind of deal. And so anytime they run
Where
into
isn't
problems,
there cursed land, bro?
It's all cursed.
I mean, literally, the earth is cursed. So
so allegedly the
Genesis,
the name Blind Frog comes from when originally when they began to open the tunnels, the tunnel system, that all of the frogs in the region started going blind.
See, and I read when they opened it up, it was just there was a lot of blind frogs that lived in the caves.
Oh, so the lore. So so
it could be. Could be a misunderstanding of the lore. But
I also didn't write it down word for word from the show or anything like that. That was just a quick search. But so that's possible.
So because animals that live, especially amphibians that live in the dark for too long, they have no need for sight and they just are blind. So that was one, but I have also seen that too, where local lore says when they came out, something made them go blind.
It takes quite a while for that kind of de-evolution, though.
Yeah, that's several generations living in the dark.
Yeah, that's quite a few,
and never coming out.
Quite a few. That's a lot.
Yeah,
it takes a while.
So there's like a whole ecosystem in those little caves. Then,
sorry. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to. My brain just
he snapped out. He snapped out of it.
Welcome back. From your
but yeah, they found Aztec things. They found Spanish coins. They've actually found. So it is like Oak Island, but they find stuff.
Yeah.
The conspiracy or the controversial take is that they've purchased these things separately and then provided as evidence they found on the show.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that.
Which is a possibility. It's a show, TV magic. They don't have to be honest. It's entertainment. They don't have to tell the truth, but it is definitely interesting. Yeah, exactly.
Except we don't lie. We just make stuff up.
And we're fun.
Entertainment value. Okay? Comedy. It's a comedy podcast. So, remember that. Always remember that.
Let's end on talking about Chad Ollinger for a second.
Okay.
The son of the owner of Blind Frog Ranch, Dwayne Ollinger. So Chad, he's the one who was the diver and all of that.
Right.
In late December, early January, he was charged with open murder of his cellmate who died in a Las Vegas jail. He was originally in jail for evading arrest on his motorcycle. Okay. Chad Ollinger was in jail for evading arrest. He was set to be released within the first week or two of January. So he was already, his term was almost done. On the night of December 26th, 2025, so this is not very long ago.
That's crazy.
On December 26th of 2025, corrections officers at the Clark County Detention Center in Vegas found 42-year-old Christopher Kelly, who was his cellmate, motionless in the cell that he shared with Ollinger during a routine check at around 11:20 p.m. Kelly had blunt force injuries and was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators determined that a physical altercation had occurred between the two men inside the cell. Ollinger, then 41, was the only other person present within the cell, so naturally he is going to be charged with open murder. That's the charge they charge for whenever. According to the arrest report, Ollinger admitted to the killing, and he told police that he put Kelly in a chokehold on the bunk and then smashed his face in onto the bed frame, and other inmates had heard the screams and help. Ollinger claimed that the killing was righteous. He said he had a supernatural ability to read people and just, quote-unquote, knew that Kelly was a pedophile. And he reportedly told officers something to the effect of, "If I know something about somebody that's bad, I take care of it." He expressed little remorse and at one point said, and quote, "Good luck cracking this case." He was set to be released within a week. Knowing everything about Blind Frog Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch and the lores and the in my mind, a lot of demonic activity that take place on both of these locations. If you've ever seen, and I know we've talked about this in the podcast before, but if you have ever seen the movie Nefarious, this case just feels and sounds so similar.
Yeah.
He was set to be released, and then the final thing of these said, "Good luck cracking this case."
Right.
Just is weird to me. And he was going to be released in like a week and a half. And so he couldn't have been all laced out on drugs because he had been in jail for a while. Right. You know, his system's clean. He's like, and by all intents and purposes, like ready to be released.
I need a quick backtrack. Sorry.
Yeah.
Law enforcement question. What was the original crime for which the police were chasing him that he wound up in prison for evading law enforcement?
I'm not 100% sure.
Cool.
Flock camera violation.
I'll look.
In Vegas, maybe he was just evading because he had been drinking. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I have no idea. This is the first I've heard of this.
Looking up.
And that's weird that he just knew. So, it wasn't he told me it wasn't that's weird. That's some psychosis at the least.
And so he was eventually deemed incompetent. So on the murder charge.
Yeah.
So he's now in medical care.
Right.
Trying to and so they did deem him, but one way or the other.
That's wild because watching him on the show, he doesn't. But then again, you can't really see
because they could edit out
psychosis and stuff. Yeah, well, and like I said, you can't see that if he is schizophrenic.
When did he go to jail, prison?
So Ollinger was booked into Gray County Jail on the charge of driving while license invalid in February, and then in July, Ollinger was reported missing in New Mexico by his family. He was entered into the National Crime Information Center as a missing person, but then was located in Albuquerque, New Mexico a short time later.
What year was this?
This would have been 2024. They arrested him in November of 2024 for evading arrest.
It just feels like there's so much more to this story than
it's weird. Okay.
Right? That is so weird that he's just
the reason I ask is because okay, I've never pursuing on an invalid what? I'm confused. Just from a cop perspective, how'd you end up in a pursuit of someone for invalid license? What? How'd that come about? So it just says stop, and they were like, "Yeah." No.
Amarillo police arrested Chad Ollinger in November 2024 for evading arrest with a vehicle. In that incident, Ollinger fled police on his motorcycle and foot. The charge was filed in Potter County, and a grand jury indicted him in January.
I could be wrong, but doesn't evading usually come with another charge?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, what were you evading for?
That's crazy.
He was booked in a Gray County jail on charge of driving while So then in July, Ollinger was reported missing by family in New Mexico. He was entered in the National Crime Information Center as a missing person, but was located in Albuquerque.
MK Ultra, and they never pick him up.
I did it again. Albuquerque,
Kirk.
New Mexico, short time later. Jail records from Clark County show that Ollinger was arrested on October 27th and booked into the Las Vegas jail for contempt of court.
There are so... What?
So wild theory. MK
There are
Ultra.
so many gaps.
He was
And they
sentenced
needed
for
to round him up to reset him.
He was sentenced for the contempt charge on December 18th. The records show he was scheduled for release on January. So he was only in jail for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then he was scheduled for release on January 12th. His next scheduled hearing was December 30th, within a couple of days.
And again, there's a difference between, my
And he's being held without bond.
roommate told me about what kind of person he is, and I just knew that that's what kind of person he was. I could see it, I could feel it. And so,
Dude, it just screams.
It's so wild.
It just screams demonic possession to me.
Yeah, some kind of,
And
How do you end up in Albuquerque?
that's
I'm calling it
I-
that now.
Albuquerque, Kirk.
there's I cannot find details.
Because where did he go missing from? Vegas?
Let me see what AI says.
I'm so confused. Everything is just... This is a weird one.
You almost need like a timeline for this.
So which case... Did they find out, like, what case that... What was he talking about? Like, the dude being a pedo or what?
Okay, this is the timeline we have. According to ChatGPT, November 25th, 2024 in Amarillo, Texas. Charge, evading arrest or detention with a vehicle, felony. What police allege is that around 9 p.m., an Amarillo police officer in an unmarked vehicle observed Ollinger run a red light on a black Harley.
Okay.
The officer attempted a traffic stop. Police say Ollinger accelerated instead of stopping. Officers reported a pursuit through city streets. The motorcycle was later located hidden behind a dumpster. Ollinger allegedly abandoned the motorcycle and attempted to flee on foot. Officers caught him after roughly a 400-foot chase. When searched, officers found a motorcycle key in his pocket and a motorcycle registration that had expired in 2011. Then the criminal charge, the grand jury indicted him for evading arrest or detention with a vehicle.
He had the registration on him?
That's what I was saying. Why was that in his pocket from 2011?
That is weird too, right?
That is a strange thing to just all of a sudden have in your pocket.
I've put my registration
that's
in
weird,
my pocket,
right?
But
From 2011.
That seems like planted. That seems planted to me.
So then
I've seen enough movies. That
I'm not
seems
saying
planted.
it couldn't happen, but that's weird.
So he served that jail sentence.
Why are you carrying
Then
registration?
in February 2025 in Gray County, Texas, public reports states that he was arrested again while driving while license invalid, which he probably lost from
that
evading and everything like that. And speeding. So the details around this arrest have not been released beyond booking
We
information.
need a Netflix doc on this one.
So then in July 2025, public records indicate that Ollinger was reported missing by family in New Mexico. Authorities entered him into the database before locating him in Albuquerque. News reports do not indicate this resulted in a criminal charge itself. Then in October 27, 2025, Las Vegas, Nevada, Clark County Jail records report he was arrested on contempt of court. Fugitive-related proceedings connected to another jurisdiction. He was booked into the Clark County Detention Center. He later received a sentence on the contempt matter, and according to jail records reported by local media, had an anticipated release date of January 12th. Then in December 26th, all of a sudden, he has open murder charge. He goes from the only crime that he had committed was evading arrest to now he's taking a dude out.
Yeah.
That's a
with his
big
bare hands.
leap.
Yeah.
It's not like he was on like drug trafficking charges and like all this. Like it's he
It
just
was an expired license.
had an expired license and didn't
Invalid.
want and
Invalid.
ran
Invalid
away.
license.
Invalid license. Yeah.
Probably was suspended. Would be
Most
my-
likely.
my-
Yeah. And then
the other thing.
didn't go to his court date. That was literally the worst that he had done. And then all of a sudden he takes out his roommate.
Do you have any prior criminal record?
That was like, that is his criminal record.
Dude, how?
That's
okay,
what I asked
okay.
for.
I'm just from the start.
All
off rip,
arrest records of Chad Ollinger. That is his
off
entire
rip,
record.
Off rip. You run a stoplight on your bike with an expired registration, and you evade, and like you run.
That's weird, right?
yeah.
That's kind of nuts. If you don't have any sort of record, like, I mean, unless he was DUI, maybe you decide to book it. It was a Harley? You're not running on a Harley, bro. What do you mean? I'm not saying it couldn't happen because, like, people do weird stuff, but that's wild.
So now I'm asking ChatGPT, what happened at Blind Frog Ranch around these dates or slightly before? Okay, so summer of 2024. What happened at Blind Frog Ranch? This is around the period of time where material of season 4 was being filmed, although Discovery has not publicly released the exact filming schedule. November 2025, season 4 had just premiered days earlier. On the show, Chad was still a major focus, exploring newly discovered caverns with Eric Drummond and pursuing the Aztec Gold storyline. Season 5, so then June, July 2025, season 5 had aired with Chad prominently featured. Episodes showed him cave diving, tracing underground tunnels, investigating alleged trespassers, and eventually taking more leadership when Dwayne's health declined. Chad disappeared from future production, and later seasons shifted focus away from him. So he had just investigated alleged trespassers. Like filming wise, I'm trying to like date the filming to when it would have occurred. Around the time that he was reportedly missing and endangered would have likely been probably around the time that he was investigating the trespassers on Blind Frog.
So let me get this straight.
That's kind of crazy.
You're digging around for Aztec gold in native tunnels.
On cursed land.
On cursed land, you start running into trespasser issues. You start investigating that, and then all of a sudden, you're a felon. And then you have a murder charge.
That's crazy, dude.
Interesting.
Wild.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's saying that filming-wise, basically around that time, it would have been around the same time. So that's crazy. I feel like we're live debunking or of live investigating and finding some cool stuff because you guys are asking questions I didn't think to ask. But that's the craziest thing about it is that like, so there is an episode where there is a third party who does seem to have government connections who is trying to evict them off of the property. And Dwayne has to go through actual court proceedings in order to prove that he solely owns the rights to the property, because there's this other party that alleges that he owns rights to the property as well. And that person apparently was connected with the police and government.
Real quick.
That occurred in like season 1 or season 2 that occurred in?
I don't know.
Do you remember that? It was real early on in the show.
Yeah. Real quick. I know we're not talking about the other ranches today, but which of the other two was like seized by national parks or whatever?
We'll talk about that.
Well, I know, but like which one was it?
No, I'm not going to tell you one here.
Bro,
it's a secret.
But I know which one it is. Yes, but one of them was.
One of them was. That's interesting.
It wasn't the one that's close there, though.
That's interesting that it seems like they don't really want private ownership of these interesting places.
It is interesting, right?
It's crazy.
I don't want to give away too much because that's a big point of the episode.
Mental health wise, I looked to see if he had any mental health things. He's never taken any kind of mental health medication. He said he had some memory loss, but he's never been diagnosed with anything. In the court proceeding, they brought in 3 expert doctors. 2 of them said he was incompetent. 1 said he was perfectly competent. And they went with the 2 rather than the one who said he's just fine. Interesting.
That sounds like the Nefarious.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
It's like a real life.
When was that movie?
Was he Nefarious?
Yeah. Like 2021?
Yeah, probably. Look it up.
I think it was 21 or 22.
It was, yeah.
23.
So season
2023.
3, where an outsider tried to challenge Dwayne Ollinger's property rights. So season 3. So that would have been shortly before that. Separate parties hold distinct mineral rights on the land. And it was the other property right trying to say that he owned the property that the Ollingers were investigating, and they had to go to court over it, and they did win and prove that the areas where they were looking were their own property right locations. But the confrontation, it doesn't really, I can't even find a whole lot of information about it. But he did actually have to go to court because it is a public court document. Like, it does exist, and you do have to look it up. So anyway, interesting.
Just real quick.
This is crazy.
This is very much off topic ish.
That's all right.
What do you think Nefarious scored on Rotten Tomatoes?
On Rotten Tomatoes,
This is a great indicator for me.
I'll bet it scored horrible on Rotten Tomatoes.
32%. By critics, 96% on the popcorn meter.
That's
so
crazy.
people, just random people who watched it, loved it. Critics hated it. I mean,
That's
shocking no one, obviously, but like,
I don't know if you trust the critics anyway. Like the movies, they.
oh no,
yeah.
I consider I consider it a direct anti-correlate. Like it's there's a direct correlation for me most of the time between critics think bad, me think good. Like like almost without fail.
Yeah,
Like it has very very little to do with the quality of a film. So I was saying that as like that's a boast to me. Like Rotten Tomatoes hates our movie.
That's
Yay.
crazy.
Good work, guys.
For real though. Anyway, I feel like we've kind of, this is a good probably natural ending spot for that. But
yeah, that took a wild turn. I wasn't
one way or the
Yeah,
other. Yeah,
weirder than I thought.
that's
interesting.
Chad Olinger, and it is kind of crazy because it is. Their lives were so visible that I do feel like, I know what you said, that like you couldn't tell if he was going crazy, but I feel like there would have at least been
That's what I'm saying. Like the whole family seems like they have it together. They're millionaires.
They're very
this is a
wealthy.
recent enough event. I have to ask: what if they found out about any of the stuff? Like, have they found anything on the guy that he schmurdered?
No, not that I know.
It's still in litigation.
It's an open investigation?
He's still. I looked that up. He's still, as of June, was the last report that came out, and they still haven't proven competency. So he's still in competency hearing.
Well, I'm more curious about have they investigated the guy
like
that
the
he
other
killed?
guy? Yeah, I don't know. Was he actually?
I don't know if they would.
I don't know.
I feel like you have to, right?
I would.
What do you mean? Like,
I would think, but I don't know.
why would you not? I mean, not that it changes the outcome for Chad, but like, why would you not investigate that?
I don't know. Yeah.
That's an accusation of, I mean, I guess, I don't know. There's not a whole lot of foundation for it, but like, I would think that somebody would want to look into that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm looking.
Or if, I'm trying to even find the guy.
So the guy he killed was in jail for a parole violation.
Okay.
Parole for
What do you do?
what?
Yeah, I was going to say, what was his previous crime?
What was his name?
Custody.
Convinced Kelly was a
Christopher Kelly.
Maybe we should move this portion to Patreon.
Yeah, maybe.
Relevant to Blind Frog.
Yeah.
We love you. That's not a closer. That's just I'm expressing
Absolutely.
that.
But no offenses related to what he
Accused him of.
There is a Christopher Kelly who is an offender from Florida, but I don't know if it's the same
seems
guy.
like a fairly common name, though.
We might have to. Yeah.
Chris Kelly?
Yeah.
We'll
like
have
I've
to.
heard that.
But yeah. Anyway, we'll continue this talk on the Patreon. This is a good rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But it is. I agree. We are moving on from Blind Frog Ranch. We're getting into other
if
things.
you want to hear us investigate this further,
you'll have to check out the Patreon.
yeah. That's a good ad.
Yeah.
That's a good ad for that.
We're going to
spot.
continue to investigate this Blind Frog Ranch on the Patreon. Join us on there, and you can literally just get the subscription right now, and you can listen to the Patreon right after you got done listening to this. Patreon.com/BA Bigfoot. And with that, don't forget to
Be your BA best.
we love you guys.
Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?